Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. What an edition of Monday Night Raw. I can honestly tell you that this was a weird week for me. Today was the last day that my mom was going to be in California. We went out for dinner. She has an early night, so we called it an early night, and I got home, but I think I was an hour to an hour and a half behind on Monday Night Raw. One thing that I always am putting over Netflix about how cool it is. I love how it's changed my feeling on wrestling because I can watch wrestling live. I don't have to try and stay off of Twitter or see all the results and then go try and watch Raw 3 hours. As the show ends, I still have an hour waiting for the show to start here in California. But I turned it on Netflix. I had to press pause on the show. I was able to scale it back to the beginning, and I started the show late. When you start the show late, it doesn't have commercial breaks. It breaks what the commercial breaks would be, but you don't actually have to watch the Hot Pocket ads or the Skittles ads or whoever else sponsors WWE and runs the commercials during Netflix. But I thought that was really cool. I also honestly fast forwarded a lot throughout the show because I wanted to catch up. I wanted to go to bed at a normal time. My girlfriend's not feeling well. I know she wants to go to bed and she doesn't want me keeping her up forever. But tonight's Raw, honestly, really heavy on the women's. We're coming out of Evolution. I think they're trying to show you that it wasn't just a one-off. I would still take the bet. I bet they don't have an Evolution in 2026. Although, if they can get the Maybelline deal and it stays, I think it comes back. It just matters if they can get that corporate sponsoring to get it back. I know Maybelline came in huge for Evolution. That was a big ad for them to get them committing to women's wrestling. I can see them doing it again. And the reviews, honestly, were really, really good. I stuck to my guns. I watched some highlights on Twitter. I didn't watch the real show, so that's why I didn't make a video on it. But people were out there saying the wrestling was honestly really, really good. Tonight's edition of Raw, right out of the gate, we had Judgment Day defending their women's tag team championships against the Kabuki Warriors. They honestly sent Dominic down to the ring. Now we see Dom and Roxanne Perez interacting. They're supposed to be doing this for Liv Morgan. Dom, very active inside of the match, although he is, injured in storyline, which would come up later on in the show, bouncing around, Judgment Day was able to get to win from Dom being out there. He really, distracted Asuka. Roxanne rolled her up. 1, 2, 3. Raquel put the foot into the ring to make sure that, she stayed down for the 1, 2, 3. Putting it on her back, giving it a little bit more pressure. That's a new pinning technique that I've really caught on to as of late, but I noticed it with the Solo Sikoa match on Saturday night's main event. I noticed it here. I'm not sure if it's just something I'm just catching on to, but it's like, grabbing the rope during a hold back in 80s wrestling. I think it's just a way that it's put over that it's an extra strong pin, I guess you could say. And we had a 2 out of 3 falls match between Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley. The winner would face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Lyra came from behind in order to get the win. She's going to be, I said WrestleMania, I meant SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure I screwed that up. But it's going to be Lyra against Becky. Becky came down for the interaction. I think at SummerSlam, Lyra's getting that belt back. And then hopefully Becky will go back to being a main event wrestler. I think she did a lot to really put Lyra over. But we got to get to, we just got to put her back in the main place. This Intercontinental Championship, I think, a year from now is going to be something that's so far out of reach. Look at the United States title. They're putting no pressure on that title. Julia has it. Maybe I should watch SmackDown a little bit more than I am, but I don't even know if Julia's defended it since winning it over there in Saudi Arabia as of yet. But we went to Nikki Bella getting the win over Chelsea Green. We had, the Chelsea's helpers come down there and start beating up Nikki after the match, and Stephanie Bakir came running down to make the save. I'm not sure if they're setting up Nikki for SummerSlam to come back. Stephanie Bakir already has a title shot. The next pay-per-view after SummerSlam for the Clash of Paris, so we could be seeing another tag match there. Chelsea's group against Stephanie and Nikki, maybe. They've been really trying to get this sort of friendship with Stephanie and Nikki over. I don't know. Nikki, the match with Chelsea was a little rough. The rack attack was not the most prettiest that she's ever done. I don't know if she's just anxious. She needs to slow down a little bit. Maybe she just needs to, rest a little bit. I know that she released a training video for training with Natalia at the Hard Dungeon. We'll have to see what more to come is from there. We had the New Day setting up that they're going to not get a rematch for the tag titles, but they're going to figure out next week what the plan is. So it looks like they're going to have to possibly wrestle against the War Raiders. I think come SummerSlam, it's going to be like a multi-team deal getting into there. I think it's going to be more than one team against another team. Possibly 3, maybe even 4. Just trying to get people in there and fill SummerSlam up. We went to the Gauntlet match, which started with Braun Breaker going up against Penta. They made Braun Breaker look like he's the man. I think they're trying to get the appeal out there that Seth is gone, and this is actually going to be Paul Heyman managing 2 guys working together, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Obviously, it looks like Braun Breaker is going to be the bigger star of the 2. They put over earlier in the night that Seth is not in any danger of losing his Money in the Bank. He has a year from June to, go out there and cash in the Money in the Bank thing. So he's got basically 10 more months in order to get that knee better and then take any opportunity he has, whether if it's challenging somebody or just, cashing in on the perfect opportunity to get in there. Braun was able to beat Penta, which brought out LA Knight. Braun beat both of those guys basically straight up one-on-one matches. Jey Uso, your former champion, I thought that he had a good chance to win this one. Jey Uso brought out Bronson Reed, which made it where Jey Uso got pinned. CM Punk was our final competitor, setting up the final match of the Gauntlet. Braun Breaker against CM Punk. I didn't know that just because it was a Gauntlet match, it was non-disqualification. When Bronson Reed really got involved by getting inside of the match, I really expected the match to throw it out. I know that it's like you have a 3-way, it automatically becomes no disqualification, because how can you declare a winner if one person just gets disqualified? I guess it could get so bad that the ref could just throw the match out, but that's not really the way I think it's supposed to go down. But Punk got the victory over Braun Breaker, which made everybody at the outside upset. Bronson Reed came back into the ring, started beating up CM Punk, I guess just to show that people are pissed and they are people, I guess. But They brought out Jey Uso to even the score, but because of Jey Uso's damaged ribs, he ate a spear from Braun Breaker, and then Bronson Reed stacked them on top of each other. Basically, they hit up a tsunami, which is what brought Roman Reigns out from the back. Roman Reigns, once he got into the ring, he helped Jey Uso up, and then he didn't help CM Punk up. And Punk's like, hey, what the hell? He's sticking his hand out like, you gotta help me. You're too good to help me. I understand that you want to help Jay, but I thought we were all on the same side here. Basically, Heyman and Braun Breaker screwed both of us. We haven't seen them since the night after WrestleMania. If I had to count my chickens as of right now, I think the match that they're going to give us come SummerSlam is going to be Jey Uso and Roman Reigns going up against a team of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And I think in the next few weeks, they're going to build Bronson and Braun Breaker up pretty strong, probably beating down Uso and Roman, and make them valuable guys to go up against Roman. But, come SummerSlam, I think everybody's eating the spear from the OTC, and that's where they're going to go from there. But really good edition of Raw, very woman's heavy. Naomi even opened up the whole deal, setting up a three-way for the women's championship. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley both decided that they wanted to go after it. Adam Pearce granted their wishes, and another women's three-way coming up at SummerSlam. So very SummerSlam heavy. They have an Intercontinental Championship women match, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyrie. We have the Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky three-way. We've already got Cena versus Cody for the WWE Championship. Now we have Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. One thing that made me upset was at the end of the show, Michael Cole said that, when Punk came back, he had one goal, and that's to win a World Heavyweight Championship in WWE. Just last month on the setup to Night of Champions, didn't Punk say that he didn't want to be champion because he knew what it did to him back in 2011, 2012, where it warped his mind? He was telling Cena about this, and that's why he didn't want to be champion. So does he or doesn't he want the championship? I'm all for Punk winning the gold, but if you're going to set up a story and tell us that it's like his goal, you can't have him telling us a month ago that it was not his goal. Maybe I remember it wrong, but that's the way that I remember it. But good edition of Raw. Pick it apart. I didn't get a text from Jeremy. I don't know if we're going to be getting together Tuesday or Wednesday, but as soon as we can, we'll have a live stream up for you, and I'll make sure I let you guys know about it. Possibly tomorrow. If he doesn't have it Tuesday, I'll do a live stream, probably 3 o'clock Pacific, I would guess. Just talk about these SummerSlam matches that were announced today, and just talk about how big SummerSlam's going to be. If it's been that way in the past and I don't remember, I think this is the first 2-day SummerSlam, which I think to me might be a little weird. Just sitting down to watch wrestling on the second and the third. I guess going there would be one thing, but just sitting home for 2 days. I understand WrestleMania, but if they're gonna make SummerSlam, if they're gonna make the Royal Rumble 2 nights, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. That's my God honest opinion. I think that when it comes down to it, I'll end up watching both nights, but I might not be happy about it. Peace out, everybody.